More energy madness out of Victoria now, with that state looking to build liquid natural gas terminals to import gas into the state, possibly from elsewhere in Australia, despite, of course, Australia being one of the world's largest gas exporters and Victoria sitting on loads of the stuff. Let's bring in Samantha McCulloch. She's with the Australian Energy Producers. She's the CEO, joining me from Canberra. Samantha, this story just stood out to me as an absolutely stark example of the madness afoot in this country, because we know there are bountiful gas reserves right across Victoria, on the coast and under the land as well. Yet Victoria won't exploit any of that. They're looking to somehow waste billions of dollars trying to import it.
Well, hi, Chris. Yes, you're absolutely right. It does seem like such an absurd situation, doesn't it, where Australia, which has been blessed with abundant gas resources, we're a gas-rich nation, we have plenty of gas, to be contemplating importing gas into Victoria is really an example of a spectacular policy failure.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, even if you could make this work, right? Say we were liquefying gas from the northwest shelf and then shipping it around to Victoria and then offloading it there and turning it back into gas, with all the transport and processing costs there and building the infrastructure to bring it on board. Of course, that's going to increase the cost, isn't it?
Well, the ACCC has already pointed to this in its most recent report, highlighting that imported LNG is likely to be at higher cost for consumers. It provides a direct linkage into the international market, exposing the domestic market or making the domestic market more vulnerable to global developments and any price volatility that we might see in global markets. And of course, when you're liquefying LNG, I mean, this is a process, there's far more handling. You need to freeze that gas to temperatures of minus 160 degrees. That's an energy intensive process. It adds costs. It would be far more cost effective to be developing the gas that's under our feet in Victoria and ensuring that gas is available to Victorian households and manufacturers.
Look, you know, through my childhood and early adult life, of course, Victoria was always the manufacturing hub of Australia, and that was because of its cheap energy. It's brown coal and it's bountiful gas from the Bass Strait. Now, just confirm for me, though, everything I've read on this, that there is absolutely no doubt, is there, that in the waters off Victoria and indeed on the land across southeast Australia, there is plentiful gas there, right? It's only the government bans that are stopping people exploiting it.
Yeah. So, Chris, what we're seeing in the Gippsland Basin, those mature fields that have been producing for decades now, they are in decline, and we've known about this for some time, and that's why it's so critical that we can go and explore and develop new sources of gas.
Exactly, that's how all gas fields operate.
Sources of gas in. Yep. So, in a sense, in Victoria, what have we seen? We've had a decade of bans and moratoriums on gas exploration and development. We've got a government that's been demonising gas, that's told the gas industry its investment's not welcome. And now we're at the point where they've been so effective in blocking gas development that Victorians will need to rely on imported LNG. And now we've seen the reports today where the Victorian government is now asking Commonwealth taxpayers to underwrite these facilities. At no point are they looking at focusing on what would be a sustainable long-term solution to gas supply, which is investing in the development of their own gas resources.
Spot on, Samantha. It's just unbelievable. Thanks for explaining that to us. Samantha McCulloch there from the Australian Energy Producers Group. This is just madness in this country. This is a country, especially on the East Coast, you're sitting on coal and gas just about wherever you are, not to mention the gas off the northwest shelf. We've got more uranium reserves than just about anywhere in the world. The rest of the world wants to use all this stuff. It is using this stuff. But we're not going to use it ourselves. We're going to have Chris Bowen and a bunch of windmills around the coast that won't work. Absolute energy madness and self-harm just continues.